19.51. New fastest lap for you.
All right, let's take a look at that. So this will be the first lap, hot lap here. This lap is pretty tough. Definitely get a little heat in the tires with your brake coming out of the pits. Okay. So my setup here, I'm going to set up wide and then cut down really early. You don't really want to be driving around in the outside part. So you just set up wide enough so that you can cut down early and straighten out the exit. You see how I'm kind of using all of the track on exit? You just want to make that a straight line. Your right rear can't do too much work. So you just got to keep the car as straight as possible. It doesn't matter too much. This is only like worth like a couple hundredths over like just a regular exit for the actual hot lap. So my point is I just go until the engine chips out a little bit, but oops, crap, sorry. So you can go about 80% brake here, 80-90% without the lockup. Make sure you're not turning your wheel at all when you're applying this brake though, or else you are going to lock up. So you see that I start with a really quick stab to 90% to get that slow. And then I back it back down to a trail, and that's when I turn the wheel. So I'm trying to set up a little bit wide, just a tiny bit of a late apex, a little bit wider than you would normally think for Martinsville. And I'm just trying to barely late apex it so I can straighten my car out and make a straight exit out of it. So the fastest route is going to be that slightly late apex, but boy, is it going to be tough to wrangle. This took me a lot of tries to do. So trail brake and then pivot to the throttle, hold that partial throttle, and just hold that half throttle until you're able to straighten the wheel out off the corner. So you see, I straighten the wheel out off the corner, and that's when I go full throttle, and that's when I'm able to keep the car off the corner. Take a look at that one more time. No slowing down or no pausing. So stab brake down to a trail, slightly late apex, half throttle, hold that half throttle, full throttle, and go. As long as you can unload your wheel, you can go full throttle. All right. Now we're going to turn 3 here. Same idea. This stab can't be quite as much as turn 1 for whatever reason. I think it's because I'm having to use more steering wheel getting into the corner. So I can only brake up to like 70% here as opposed to the 90 I was able to before. And then same down to a trail, slightly late apex. Now, this slight late apex has a purpose because there's this part of the curb here that like sticks out. If you were just to ride the curb here, you would have to straighten your car out early to avoid hitting it. Right there, right here. So if you make your slight apex and late apex and make it there, then you don't have to avoid that curb and you're carrying more speed. So that's why I don't go down to the curb earlier. It's a lot faster getting down right on the curb at the beginning until you get to that part where the curb just slightly juts out a bit right here. So that's when I make my late apex. And that's when I'm able to get full throttle as I'm unloading the wheel. All right, now let's go take a look at long run. All right, let's talk about long run. Well, not long run. Let's just talk about more than one lap, because you're not going to get long runs in this race. Pretty much any race, you're not going to get a long run. So what's our strategy for this race? If you ever get a run that's more than 10 laps, I would probably pit, and I would make that my only pit stop of the race. Because there is just going to be wreck after wreck after wreck after wreck in these races. I don't even know why you're doing this race, to be honest with you. But let's say that you need participation, you're a masochist, something like that. You'll do this race, and you'll be pacing most of the time. But in the off chance that you're racing, just take a little bit shallower entries than you were, or than I was in qualifying, because I just want to get to the bottom and stick to the bottom. It doesn't particularly matter how fast I am. You just don't want to leave that bottom. Like, you have to be obviously a certain speed, but if I'm just a tenth off each corner from like my best, just kind of easing it around the bottom, that's how you're going to make the most of things at Martinsville. Now, if you're getting pressure off the back, and you need to brake farther into the corner. Just don't compound mistakes with other mistakes. That's the best advice I can give you. Stuff is gonna happen here, and you just gotta roll with it, keep your car straight, keep it going. Maybe use up somebody else, maybe somebody else uses up you, but usually the races that I've done and seen here, you're gonna get a run maybe of 20 laps is like the absolute maximum that I feel like I've done here. And so you don't really have to worry about tires. The only thing you got to worry about is not doing that, not sliding your right rear on exit. So you just got to be careful going to 100% throttle coming off the corner. Just roll into it a little easier. See how, yeah, that's exactly what I was talking about right there. So the right rear heat compounds with itself. So if you slide once, you're going to be sliding for the near future. So it's going to be pretty tough to get the heat back down to a level where you can drive it off the corner. So you just got to make sure not to make that mistake in the first place. And if you do, just really easy getting to 100%. Tires, not that they're going to matter too much, but yeah, 99, 98, and that was with the spin. So that's really all I got for you. It's all about survival. Keep your car straight. Don't nose into somebody too hard and hurt your engine. Just survive out there, try to qualify, get out front. And don't pit unless you have like 20 plus green flag laps on your tires. Even then, you can just stay out, usually. All right, thank you all for watching. Hope you have a wonderful day. Hope to see you all on the track.